Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl. We are live here in the city of Jonesboro. I'm super excited about today's candid conversation. I'm here with the city mayor, Mr. Ricky Clark. How are you, Ricky?
I am well, and just to clarify, the city manager, we have a wonderful
Excuse me,
mayor,
yes,
and
thank you.
I cannot do her role.
Pardon me, yes, we have to be very clear. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to me. Kind of bring a little bit of, I call it some sunshine to the climate of everything right now. With everything going on in the world, we have a very intense election going on, COVID-19, all that kind of good stuff. So I said, we have so much positive things going on in Jonesboro. I really wanted to take the time, bring that to the forefront moment. I'm a native. I've been here for almost 25 years, so Jonesboro is home for me. Went to here, so it's home for me, and I have a passion for it. I enjoy my community, and just share with everybody what all we have going on.
Absolutely.
Now, those that aren't familiar, just sharing a little bit about people who you are. I'm Frankfurt, Germany.
Griffin, Georgia.
Okay.
I claim it. I was born and raised in Griffin, Georgia. Matriculated school there. Matriculation of life, matriculation of your professional career. So I'm just excited about what's happened thus far. And then what is to come. None of it would be possible if I did not have great support from our legislative body, our mayor and city council. Our mayor and city council are very progressive leaders. They are in tune with the community, and they always believe it's what's best for the greater good of all people, not just focusing on these segmented approaches just to please to it. what's best for the most people in our community.
Awesome, awesome. Jonesboro has came a long way. Now, how long have you held this?
I came in as clerk in 2014.
Okay.
I think I was promoted to city administrator in 2015, and then in 2016 promoted to city manager.
Oh, so you're the epitome of climbing the corporate ladder. Okay, awesome,
Yeah,
beautiful. Now, I wanted to touch on a few things today.
Okay.
First, let's talk about the Blueprint Jonesboro. Can you tell us what exactly that is and what all that encompasses?
Absolutely. So when I started back in 2014, one of the first things Mayor Dave mentioned was she had just came back into office, and the city needs to do a comprehensive plan in order to be eligible to receive state and federal grants, because at that time there was no comprehensive plan.
Okay.
And the original plan dated back to 2004. So in 2015, one of our first initiatives was updating our comprehensive plan and planning out what the future of our community would look like.
Okay.
Of course, it wasn't a full-blown study because, again, we were trying to ensure that we were qualified local government, because at that time we were not, and this was just 6 years ago.
Wow.
And so immediately after that, just based upon the momentum from that comprehensive plan partnering with the Atlanta Regional Commission, we said, our community is hungry for something. Strategically, all of our elected officials agreed development had to be at the forefront of everything that we did, because the makeup of Jonesboro is very interesting. I'll give you a statistic.
Yes.
So there are roughly 4,800 residents in the city.
Okay.
However, there are over 90,000 people that bear the Jonesboro address. Of those 4,700 to 4,800 residents that live in the city, the majority of them pay no property taxes. Over 50% of the property is non-taxable because it's either churches or governmental facilities, because we're at the county seat.
Okay.
So when you hear us talking about economic development, it's a hedge against the future, because there's no way for this business known as the city of Jonesboro to generate a lot of revenue. And so what we're doing is trying to be strategic about how do we enhance quality of life. So Blueprint Jonesboro spoke straight to that. During that time, we had opened Lee Street Park, and so we went forward with this Livable Centers initiative, and we dubbed it with the name Blueprint Jonesboro, because we were really trying to push out to our community and our stakeholders. What would this footprint look like? When that initial Blueprint Jonesboro, within 120 days, we had completed all of the tasks that we had set out to do.
Okay,
Immediately
wow.
Thereafter, and it was a $100,000 plus grant from the Atlanta Regional Commission. Immediately after that, we started honing in on phase 2 of the Blueprint Jonesboro, and how do we treat these linchpin connections such as Broad Street. When you look at Broad Street wasn't something that we just dreamed up. It was something that overwhelmingly our citizens and stakeholders said they wanted. They wanted a restaurant that was walkable in the downtown district.
So you heard the people.
Absolutely.
You heard them.
Absolutely.
Wow, beautiful. Yeah. And I love that. That leads me towards my next topic or question. I'm a big advocate of the whole live, work, play concept. And I'm a firm believer that we don't have to I love my metro area, but we don't have to go all the way to Buckhead or to some of the other surrounding areas to get the plush shopping experience, to get the plush dining experience, or to have a good time, to have a concert, or whatever our interests are. We have so much right here in our backyard. So tell us a little bit about the mixed development that is in play or coming. I hear a lot of different things, and so I said, let's ask our city manager instead of what we hear through the rumor mill. Let's find out what's really coming into place. Are we having some mixed development in regards to the live work type concept, or is that a jaded concept? Tell us a little bit.
So it's definitely not a jaded concept.
Okay.
It's very much so real.
Okay.
So our downtown district, which if you look at it from a geographical area, it stems from North Avenue to South Avenue.
Yes.
However, downtown we have what's called our central business district.
Okay.
The entirety of that central business district is an arts and entertainment district. So I'm sure you say, well, if we're talking about a live, work, play concept, why is arts and entertainment important? Culture you have to embed culture, art into everything that you do. It makes it more attractive when you hone in on these quality of life matters that in fact drive people to an area. So our mayor and council for the first time ever approved, probably 3 to 4 months ago, the erection of 4 condos on top of one of our central businesses downtown. And the only reason roll that plan out in its totality, is that now he's looking at, well, how do I go even further and square off an entire unit, to get a minimum of 11 or 12. About 2 months ago, we did a housing questionnaire. It was actually an economic development questionnaire. Okay. Housing was the #1 resounding thing that we heard from some 500 people that participated in that survey. So we have your live concept coming. Okay. You talk about work. The Central Business District right now is comprised of several different types of businesses. Of course, when the courthouse was in downtown Jonesboro, now it's on Terra Boulevard, that Central Business District was lined with the attorney's office. So now what we're seeing is some of the attorneys either retiring and out of the practice, and the properties are becoming available to new investors and developers. So within 2 years, we've seen 4 of those buildings. So one of which has been planned out for a Mexican restaurant. The other has been planned out for a smoothie restaurant. We have a brand new, within the last 2 months, a property owner that's looking to do a very fancy cigar type lounge concept, just high-end, high class. And also you have the condos. And then right behind that district, the city put up $79 million to retrofit and repurpose the Jonesboro Firehouse Museum. And it will become a restaurant as well as a general plaza area, very similar to what you see in Atlantic Station, where the business owners, stakeholders, citizens can just go chill out, have food, right in the heart of the downtown district.
I am excited. Absolutely. I cannot wait. So, do you have a ETA? Like, can you tell us when we can expect to even just the groundbreaking, maybe, of some of these things?
So, interesting enough, Street is I'll say 85% complete. Okay. Right now, the only thing that we're waiting on are the utilities to be buried underground. One of the things our mayor and council, especially our mayor, was big on: if we're going to do it, let's do it right the first time. Absolutely. And with that comes the dollar, Yes. But what we understand in looking at analytics, even in looking at our digest, just based upon some of the work that we've done as a public sector, as a government, some of the work that we've done, we've seen the benefit of that with the surrounding parcels around there. In some instances, an increase of 20 to 30%. So at the same time, while you're placing these developments here, it's also helping to build your tax base as well. And so Broad Street, it's with this pandemic, we're at the fate of the utility companies. Georgia Power has been an amazing partner with us. But again, we're just waiting for D-Day for those lines to come down, and then we're ready to rock and roll. The other thing I'll talk about in the downtown district is the success of the Fig Tree Cafe, our very own coffee shop, where people can just come, a diverse group of people can just come and enjoy themselves while they good sandwiches, good soups, etc.
Okay, beautiful. And it's a beautiful facility, you all. Like you said, right here in downtown Jonesboro. Absolutely. In our home, in our community. And I want to keep stressing that because it's very important for us to shop local, put our tax dollars back into our community so that we can see it work for us. Now, is there any other upcoming projects that you'd like to share with the listeners today?
Absolutely. Much about one of the other things mentioned in the plan. You see the office right now, we're 100% built out. We cannot add staff, and so as you see us continue to do these major initiatives, we are still relatively a small office staff. However, there's a great need for us to add just to keep up with the workload because everything is happening. At the time that you and I are sitting here, our building permits are up 392%.
Oh, wow.
We have 49 homes underway and close to 40 to 50 townhomes underway for the first time ever. It's the first subdivision ever in the city of Jonesboro. Before they could even signs, they had already sold multiple homes, and now they're selling like hotcakes. We're talking about the growth.
Right behind us?
Yeah. So
I was going to ask you that as well, about the live-work concept of the town or the condos. Mm-hmm. Are they sold already?
So they are not.
Like a hot commodity.
They are not. And right now, and that's why he's trying to do more just based on sheer volume. Where he's trying to do the 4, it's actually his building. He and his wife purchased the building. The wife wants to do a vegan concept, a very healthy concept downstairs, promoting more of a holistic life, natural products, from shampoos to soaps to lotions, just really promoting the importance of us using these holistic products and not putting all of these different things within our body if you want to live longer, longevity. So, and then on top, he wants to do the condos. But so in addition to that, we have Ricky McKenzie that just purchased the Oak Glaze and Glaze site, and he has close to 40 or 50 offices from art studios to general office. This is just a variety of mixes there. And then to help mesh it all together, the Clayton County Film Office and Tourism Office is in the heart of our downtown district. So as we're bringing people in for filming opportunities, they're able to cultivate not only the film aspects, but the tourist aspects as well.
Awesome, beautiful. I am so excited about what's in store. Now, in two more points in closing. The first one, community involvement. That's important to me. And again, another reason why I wanted to sit down and share with you all, because I felt like, or talk with you, I felt like I can reach an additional audience, a younger audience, and an audience that may not typically have been involved with the community. And so I want them to be able to see and hear firsthand what all is going on, but also have the opportunity to be intrigued and say, hey, I would like to be a part of that. I would like to, shop local, be involved in my community, all that kind of good stuff. What would you recommend to someone that maybe has never done too much of anything in their community? How they can either volunteer, give back, come to the city council meetings, anything to that nature? What would be your tidbit for them?
It's always interesting when we have board appointments, when we're trying to find volunteers. A lot of people think that we just know them. However, as you know, a lot of people are working during the day.
Yes.
And then between when they get home from work, we're already going home. So we know a great amount of our citizens, but we know more of our business people because we see them while we're our residents. There are always opportunities for you to engage your local government. We welcome it.
Yes.
We events every year, and it's a great opportunity for you to network, get your foot in the door, to really understand how the government works. So we're very active on Facebook. We respond to every message. We have several board appointments that we're looking to fill. However, with some of the board appointments, just based upon statutory regulations, you have to be a citizen of Jonesboro proper, the actual city limits. So you can shoot us an email, rclark@jonesboroga.com, or just call the office 770-478-3800, and we're always looking for volunteers, always.
Awesome. And I'm glad you mentioned that tidbit in regards to some of the regulations in board appointments, things of that nature, because I noticed in one thing that I was interested in, I didn't live in the city limits, and you kind of gave an answer to that earlier in regards to so much being built, so that can kind of help, draw in more people to get involved.
Absolutely.
Because we'll be able to live right here in the heart of downtown Jonesboro. I've always said I'm a city girl by default, even though I live in the suburbs, and I at once lived downtown Atlanta. I'm excited now that I can have the opportunity to live downtown Jonesboro right here in my home. So, in closing, I had a couple questions from people that were tuning in, that wanted to simply ask, things that were on their heart. So, one of the young ladies, her name is Miss Clark, and she had a question. Please ask Mr. Clark if there has been any consideration to make downtown Jonesboro a hub for new and unique Black-owned businesses and galleries, and if it will be walkable.
One of the beauties of our community is the diversity of our community. So when we are talking to investors and developers, we're never trying to focus on just men or just women. We're trying to focus on the whole, right? Absolutely. One of the things that's part of our brand is One Jonesboro, Jonesboro. We pull out the one because we're one community with many stories. In those stories is the makeup of all types of people. And I think the only way we will be successful if we are the community that is able to embrace everybody's culture. So we're always looking for business opportunities. We're always willing to coach people to help them go through the business process. But we want to focus on everybody. We want to focus on how do we make this community that in which, regardless of who you are, where you are, what you do, what your preference is, you're welcome here.
Absolutely. Now, the same listener, so thank you, Ms. Clark, for being involved in our discussion today. She also asked if there will be a mural for Haiti McDaniel, if there's one coming soon. So that's the Black Oscar winner from Gone with the Wind, and says that it should definitely be one in Jonesboro.
Not to my knowledge. I know we had, there was a mural on the side of Arts Clayton in our downtown district that featured the Arnold sisters,
Yes.
which were major educators here in Clayton County, among some of the first Black African American teachers here, graduated from Clark Atlanta University, and those murals are going back. You know, the murals are just being updated,
Okay.
meaning ensuring they've been there for over 10 years, so they just want to make sure that they are preserved. As you will note, there were some things recently with Going with the Wind, and I'm just not sure where our tourism authority is with how they're going to continue to market.
Okay, all right. Thank you for being open to the questions. Thank you again for your hospitality, for having me here today.
Absolutely.
It's been a pleasure. And you all, thank you for tuning in. Is there anything in closing that you would like to leave with?
I'll say this. We are a growing community. The only way we'll be successful is if we have a community that understands how open we really are. A lot of times you hear things about this going on or this going on, and what we want to do is have that open culture where our residents and our stakeholders can come to us and say, hey, these are our ideas. What do you think about it? Because again, that's who we are.
Yeah.
It's a part of our brand, one Jonesboro with many stores. And we want all of our residents and stakeholders to take part in, because essentially this is what we're trying to do is to improve their quality of living, to ensure that if they want all of these different restaurants, walkability, trails, things of that nature, concert venues, they don't have to get on 75 and go to them.
Right.
They're able to get on the golf cart and come right to the heart of our downtown community. So, we're just excited about everything that's going on. And more so, we're excited about the support we've received from our public, from our stakeholders and citizens. We're really excited about it. There's more to come. Last week, we selected a general contractor for our new city center. So again, things are just happening every day. When yesterday we announced that we were one of the 5 recipients around the state for the Georgia Initiative for Community Housing. And what that is, it will be the state committing resources for the next 3 years for us to plan out how can we better get in our community. So everything is just really falling into place. And again, none of it would be possible without first a progressive leadership team from our mayor and council to our city staffers and then our stakeholders and citizens that pour into us on a daily basis.
I'm so excited. I mean, Jonesboro has grown so much, like I said, since I moved here, I want to say in 96. So I'm excited for what's in store.
Absolutely.
We're fastly evolving. So there's a lot going on, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see what the next 5, 10 more years have.
Wow.
It's going to be a whole another year. Well, you all are tuned in to Bonnie in the City. It's your girl, Siobhan Noel. Candid conversation with our city manager, Mr. Ricky Clark. Thank you again, sir. It's truly been a pleasure. We must do this again.
We must.
Keep the community involved, informed, all that kind of good stuff.
I think I need to give you a live tour of Broad Street so that you can let everybody see while they're still connected what's going on over there.
That would be so amazing.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you all stay tuned for what else is coming involved, whatever's coming in store. And thank you again for joining us today. You all have a great one, and we'll be back. I have to get me a little gizmo so I don't